Hello and a very warm welcome back, everybody. I'm just here playing a game I haven't touched in years, basically. It's called Tom Clancy's The Division. This was, of course, created by Massive Entertainment, the guys who originally did Ground Control, World and Conflict, that sort of stuff. Now they've gone into this, which is excellent. Knowing it's from Massive, I have been looking forward to this. I mean, I've played this already a few times. As you can see, I've sort of progressed a couple of levels. I originally played the demo version for this and I fell in love with it. Got this in a sale. I've also got the Division 2, so I'll probably be playing some of that as well and uploading some of that footage. But let me know if you want to see more of this. I just had a check on the website and it looks like the Division was released back in March 2016 and it was using its proprietary engine Snowdrop, which is unique to Massive Entertainment, I think, and Ubisoft, so they're the guys that actually use it. Unfortunately, that editor is not available for use. It's only within the company, which is a real shame. But there you go. I hope you enjoy. To be perfectly honest, what can I say about this game? It's been out since 2016. The Division 1, if you like atmospheric, story-driven kind of gameplay, then this is the game for you. It's set in snowy New York City. It has a survival tone around it. So it's got that kind of vibe for it. So it's got a stronger story experience more than anything else. I mean, the Division itself is set in snowy post-Black Friday New York City. Like I said, it's got a very strong atmosphere. Many of the players who played it before say it's totally immersive, and it's the setting's really good. This is more punishing as well as a solo player. It has a steeper difficulty curve. It's got the classic cover shooter feel, but less refined than the Division 2. It's got a very strong story campaign. You've got the iconic Dark Zone now, which can be really brutal. I've played it a few times myself. I don't last very long. I mean, the Dark Zone is very atmospheric, it's tense, and it's something that a lot of players come back to this game for and love. I mean, the Division has been widely praised for its narrative depth and atmosphere, which is common for Massive. It's their kind of game style and their gameplay, and something they've developed throughout their games anyway. The Division is you can usually pick this up quite cheap, and it's often heavily discounted, and it still has a lot of loyal fans. So if you want atmosphere, nostalgia, then play the Division 1 first. So let me just quickly recap on what the Division actually is. This is a third-person, cover-based action RPG looter shooter set in a collapsing New York City after a viral outbreak. So it blends tactical shooting with RPG progression, loot grinding, and cooperative multiplayer if you're into that sort of thing. The key gameplay pillars for this game, from what I understand, is the cover-based combat. You survive by moving between cover, flanking, suppressing enemies, and using abilities tactically. The looter-shooter progression. Enemies drop gear of different rarities. You're constantly upgrading weapons, armor, and skills. With regards to the RPG stats, firearms, damage, stamina, health, electronics, skill, power. And then you've also got skill-driven combat. So you've got your turrets, seeker mines, sticky bombs, pulse scanners, healing stations, and of course you do have co-op. So mission scale with team size up to 4 players, if that is your scene. This game takes place in mid-crisis Manhattan during the winter after the green poison virus devastates most of New York City. The atmosphere is one of the game's strongest elements. Abandoned streets, emergency zones, snowstorms, and environmental storytelling everywhere. The atmosphere for this game has become really iconic since its release. I mean, the snowdrop engines, dynamic lighting and weather, you've got the realistic New York City recreation, civilians scavenging for survival, you've got factions controlling districts, and you've got echo holograms showing frozen moments of the outbreak. So it's a pretty immersive game, and it actually drags you into it. Something I really need to speak about is the combat mechanics for this game. Combat is tactical, which you would expect from massive entertainment. It's weighty and slower paced compared to The Division 2, so just bear that in mind. So out of the two, I actually prefer Division 1 more for its tactical aspect than anything else. I mean, the combat features is the third-person cover system, which is the core mechanic. 3 weapons equips. You got your primary, secondary, and your pistol. You got explosives as well, like sticky bombs and seeker mines. And of course, you've got the destructible environments. There's different types of enemy as well, although pretty basic here. You've got rioters. You've got cleaners who go around with flamethrowers. You've got Rikers. These are escaped convicts. And you've of course got the LMB, which is the private military. Enemies will hit hard, forcing you to use cover, skill and positioning intelligently. So don't just go. This is not a shoot 'em up or run and gun kind of game. This is a very, very tactical shooter, which a lot of people enjoy. I immensely enjoy this type of game. Let's talk about the gear and loot progression, because this is important as well to understand. Loot is the heart of the Division. So you've got gear tiers. You've got worn gear. You've got standard, specialized. You got superior. You got high end. You get gear sets and exotic items as well. Now the progression system, I think by the time when I was playing this, they capped it to 30. I'm not sure if that's gone up higher anymore. I haven't played this game for a while. Experience points you get from missions, you get for your kills and exploration as well. You have mods for weapons and gear. You can also craft. They also have a crafting system, so you can craft your weapons and gear as well here. And you also have your base of operations where you can get medical tech and security updates. So each wing will unlock new skills, perks and facilities, giving you a sense of rebuilding New York City. We need to talk as well about the skills and talents and the tech. Skills define your combat styles. So for example, the pulse scans enemy, the turret. This is basically a deployable auto gun. You have your seeker mines, which tracks and explode enemies. You got your sticky bombs, high burst of damage, and you got your sports station, which is basically your healing station. Talents give passive bonuses, reload speeds, critical boosts and stuff like that, while perks unlock quality of life improvements, so you get more space in your rucksack, you get your crafting bonuses as well. Missions and activities. Main mission structure. Story missions tied to each of base operation wings. Side missions and encounters, you get loads of these. And you also have high level activities after level 30, which I think I've reached. I'm not sure what level I'm on at the moment. Now, if my memory serves me right, this game actually came out with several DLCs. I think there was one underground There was survival, and there's also Resistance DLC. This is interesting because the Resistance DLC is basically Horde mode. And then you've got your survival DLC, which is hardcore survival mode. And then you've got your underground, which is what they call procedural dungeons, basically. And then I think you've also got incursion. I think these are extra levels, something like a game or a level called Falcon Lost, Clear Sky, Dragon's Nest, a Stolen Signal, that sort of thing. So there are add-ons to this game once you finish the base game itself. Now, the most popular aspect of this game was the Dark Zone, or the DZ. This is the most famous feature of this game. And what makes it unique is the PvE and PvP mixed. You got rogue systems, you got betray other players for loot, contaminated loot, requiring extraction. So this is basically high risk, high reward if you needed something special. But it's tense, atmospheric and unpredictable. Many players considered the Division's Dark Zone superior to the Division 2's, so just be warned if you're trying to play that. Also, it helps to have a good internet speed as well. As you know, this is the first time the Snowdrop engine was actually used, which is Massive's own or Ubisoft's own editor. The Snowdrop engine is known for its dynamic lighting, volumetric snow, realistic weather and detailed interiors. The winter New York scene aesthetics becomes iconic for this franchise. So just to recap, the Division was released back in March 2016. I think it was on the 8th of March. Developer, of course, was Massive Entertainment. Publisher, Ubisoft. The engine, and the first time it was ever used was Snowdrop. The genre for this is actually an RPG third-person shooter. And it also has, of course, online multiplayer only. Right, a bit of spoiler alert. This is the full story and timeline, which is canon as far as I understand about the Division storyline. So first of all, you've got this before the outbreak. Long before the game begins, the US government runs Operation Dark Winter, a real-world bioterror simulation in 2001. It exposes catastrophic weaknesses in America's ability to handle a smallpox attack. This leads to the creation of Division 50 or Directive 51, authorizing sleeper agents known as the Division to activate during national collapse. This is the foundation of the entire franchise and the entire game itself. Then we shift to Black Friday, when the virus is actually released. So this is November 27, 2015, Black Friday. So biologist Dr. Gordon Amherst releases a genetically modified smallpox strain, green poison, also called the dollar flu, by contaminating banknotes in New York City. So crowds shopping on Black Friday unknowingly spread the virus across Manhattan. This is the moment the world begins to fall apart. You got the first week in New York as it collapses. So timeline is around the 30th November to December the 1st. Symptoms start to appear, schools start closing, panic starts to spread. December 2nd to December 3rd, within 48 hours, Manhattan descends into chaos. 2/3 of the population is evacuated, communication failed. The JTF, or the Joint Task Force, is formed, bridges close, hospitals overflow, violence erupts. The government deploys Colonel Charles Bliss and the private military group Last Man Battalion, LMB. This is the true beginning of the apocalypse. Then you have the creation of the Dark Zone. So from December 4th to December 11th, The government walls off Midtown Manhattan, creating the dark zone. Quarantined area filled with infected, abandoned military gear and civilians trapped inside. Construction begins on November the 11th. The DZ becomes the most dangerous place in New York City, and also the most important and lucrative. You then have the factions that emerge from all this. So you got the rioters, the cleaners, the Rikers, LMB. So these factions dominate the city and become your primary enemies in the game. The first wave of division agents fails. So December 2015 to January 2016, the government activates the first wave of division agents. They enter Manhattan to restore order, but everything goes wrong. Many of them die, many disappear, some go rogue. The most dangerous rogue is Aaron Keener, who betrays the division after witnessing the government abandon the Dark Zone. Keener becomes the franchise's main antagonist. Therefore, the second wave is activated. This is you, January 2016. With the first wave gone, the government activates the second wave of agents, and you're one of them. A ferry explosion kills many recruits, leaving you and a few agents who make it into Manhattan. Your mission? Rebuild the base of operations, medical, tech, security wings, retake Manhattan district by district, investigate what happened to the first wave, stop the factions, find Aaron Keener. This is the start of the game's main campaign. So retaking New York. Throughout the campaign, you dismantle each faction. The Cleaners, you take down their leader, Joe Ferro, ending their crusade of burning civilians. The Rikers, you eliminate their leadership and stop their violent takeover attempts. The LMB, you destroy the stronghold and confront Colonel Bliss, ending the private military occupation. And then you have the Dark Zone operations. You uncover the truth about the first wave's disappearance and Keener's betrayal. Then, of course, you have the endgame events. After the main story, several major events expand the lore. You've got Underground, a devastating attack forces agents into New York City's underground tunnels to stop new threats. You've got Survival. Agents crash in a blizzard while retrieving antivirals from the Dark Zone. They must survive sepsis and extract before dying. And then, of course, you have Resistance. Hostile factions form a temporary alliance at West Side Piers. You uncover more of Keener's activities. The Division story doesn't really end with the virus. The virus spreads worldwide. Keener escapes New York. The Division stabilizes Manhattan but cannot stop the global collapse. This sets the stage for the Division 2, where the fight moves to Washington DC and Keener returns as a central villain. And that is basically it in a nutshell for the Division. So enjoy the gameplay. I know I've talked over it, but like I said, if you want more of this gameplay, just comment in the line below. Thank you.
Clear out XT Ryzen. Heads up, throwing flashbang.
Hostiles inbound on your position. Warning. Hostiles inbound on your position.
Why should you play the Division in 2026? Because the atmosphere never gets outdated. The snowy streets of Manhattan feel alive, even in silence. Every apartment tells a story. Every abandoned Christmas light feels like a memory frozen in time. This isn't just a map, it's a world you walk through, not just play. Because the story still hits harder than most modern shooters. You're not a superhero, you're a sleeper agent activated in the darkest hour of America's collapse. You're rebuilding the city block by block, fighting factions that rose from desperation and fear. And because the Dark Zone remains unmatched, no battle royal, no extraction shooter, no modern PvP system has recreated the tension of walking into a quarantined war zone where anyone can betray you. In 2026, the DZ is still the king of risk-reward gameplay. The combat is really tactical, grounded and satisfying. You don't sprint blindly around shooting at everything that moves. You have to think, you have to flank, and most importantly, you have to survive. It's a shooter for players who respect strategy over chaos. I'm not recommending this game just because it's cheap. It runs beautifully on modern hardware, the atmosphere is timeless, the story is still one of Ubisoft's best, and the Dark Zone, still a masterclass in tension. In 2026, The Division is not just worth playing, it's worth experiencing again and again and again. So if you want a game that challenges your aim, play anything. If you want a game that challenges your spirit and tactics, play The Division. You won't regret it. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, help my channel grow, and I'll catch you on the ground. See you next time. Bye.